The results of the 6th Sero survey in Delhi are out, revealing that more than 90% of those covered in the national capital have developed antibodies against SARS-CoV-2. Does this mean Delhi is now more or less free of COVID-19? Or does it mean that 90% of Delhi's population has been affected by COVID-19 already? Or is it something else? Let's clear these and all other questions in your head, one at a time. Firstly, what is herd immunity and why does it matter? Herd immunity occurs when a large portion of a community, the herd, becomes immune to a disease, making the spread of the disease from person to person unlikely, thereby breaking the chain of viral transmission. As a result, the whole community becomes protected. What percentage of a community needs to be immune in order to achieve herd immunity? Good question. Well, it varies from disease to disease. The more contagious a disease is, the greater the proportion of the population that needs to be immune to the disease to stop its spread. For example, measles is a highly contagious illness. It is estimated that 94% of the population must be immune to interrupt the chain of transmission. However, it is estimated that this figure could be anything over 75 to 80% for COVID-19, which also means it could actually be 99.999999999% too.
सर जो तेरा चकराए या दिल डूबा जाए आजा प्यारे पास हमारे काहे घबराए
More questions? Let's keep the answering going. What is Sero survey and what is seropositivity and how is it measured, tested, calculated, whatever. Sero surveys examine either of two things. One is how many people in a population have been infected with a particular pathogenic disease and recovered from the same. In this case, that disease is COVID-19 caused by the pathogen called SARS-CoV-2. The other aspect is how many people have been vaccinated against the disease in question, as the presence of antibodies in human serum could also be due to vaccination. Sero surveys use tests that examine the liquid part of blood or serum, not nose, throat, and mouth fluid. And these tests detect an immune response to the virus material. When a virus infection strikes, the body comes up with many immune responses. One of these responses is making proteins called antibodies that bind to the virus within a few days after infection. While the infection disappears after a couple of weeks, the antivirus antibodies stay around in the blood for a fairly long time. These antibodies are made irrespective of whether the infected person was asymptomatic or not. Now, let us understand what the term seropositivity means. No matter how alien that term might sound, it is very simple to understand. A person is seropositive if their blood is found to have antibodies against a specific disease, period. The fifth round of Sero survey conducted in January 2021 had shown that 56.13% of people in Delhi had developed antibodies against COVID-19. Now, a sixth Sero survey has been done. The sample collection started on September 24, 2021. A total of 28,000 samples were collected from all the 280 wards across Delhi. The seropositivity rate in every district in Delhi is now more than 85%. Interestingly, more women were found seropositive as compared to men. In August 2021, Mumbai showed that 86.64% of the 8,674 people surveyed had antibodies against COVID-19. Kerala stood at 80% around the same time, while Tamil Nadu and Haryana stood at 70 and 76% respectively. But well, why does any of it matter? And how reliable is a sero survey to be able to draw any meaningful conclusions? Well, to quote a senior official on the 6th sero survey, one cannot say Delhi has achieved herd immunity despite such a high level of seroprevalence. We cannot say exactly if Delhi has achieved herd immunity because there are no studies or data to show that the virus won't spread after a certain percentage of the population is affected. Scientists at the National Institute of Immunology and other experts believe that while surveys like this can be useful, they have their limitations. It is difficult to say how representative the survey is of various parts of the country because the infection and incidence rates vary across states. The ICMR Sero survey examines only 70 out of the 700 odd districts in India across 21 states. Because less than 10% of India's districts are sampled, it is possible that we may miss large variations between districts. The conclusion is plain. All of this just means that Delhi is unlikely to witness a COVID-19 wave as destructive as the second wave in April and May until a new severe variant emerges. It is not wise to draw any other conclusions yet. Let the researchers keep up the tremendous work they've been putting in, and we will keep bringing you the latest updates. Till then, follow COVID-19 appropriate behavior and stay safe.